Hey, what's up? John Shred here, and today we're going to talk more about the business of building custom computers. It'll be less focused on the build itself and more about the parts I have selected to put into the build, what's special about them, why I chose them, hopefully how much in the end I can profit by selling them, and why I selected them. So if you're into that kind of thing, stay tuned. Welcome back. This is your first time here. Welcome. I love to talk about new technologies and sometimes even the money associated around them. Today's going to be all about the different parts I selected, what I paid for them, what they're worth retail to kind of better understand, if I got a good deal on something. And so that I can try and build this whole system together and give you an idea of what it would cost to build I'm going to call this a mid-tier custom system. If you're like me, you may scour the internet for, used prices for, good deals on parts that may be slightly better than what I have in my current system, with the goal of buying that newer part that's a little bit better, taking my old one and reselling it. That's at least what I tell my wife, so it doesn't seem like I'm spending a whole lot. When talking prices today, I'll keep everything in United States USD. If you didn't know, I'm in Canada, but I realized from my YouTube analytics that over half of you are from the United States. So I've already converted all to USD just so it's easier to digest. All my Canadian peeps are usually pretty good at doing the conversion anyway. So all USD. All right, so let's talk parts. Let's start with the motherboard. So here, boom, we have an ASUS TUF X570 Wi-Fi. This is the motherboard that came out of my system recently. If you have not seen that motherboard swap, check out a video here. The reason I took it out was so I could upgrade, kind of like I said, get a better motherboard and resell this one. Now, it's a great board. There's nothing fancy about it. I paid about $150. It's about $200 brand new. It's great. Not a whole lot of RGB. It does the trick. It's X570, so you get all the PCI Express 4.0 features. That's originally why I upgraded to it, so that I could get my hard drive, my my hard drive up to PCI Express 4.0. So yeah, it's a solid board. I think it'll be good for anyone. Like I say, anything Gen, the current Gen Zen 3, you're good for. So yeah, that's a pretty good motherboard. Next up is a CPU. I didn't have an additional CPU kicking around. I considered upgrading the 5900X in my system to a 5950, but the price point, I could use it, especially for video editing. It would be amazing. But I ended up finding this 5800X. This is why I put this system at mid-tier. 1500 is a very solid CPU. I ended up buying it for $200 used. One would say that the newer 5800X 3D is a preferred CPU, and I would agree it's a bit faster in the single core gaming aspect, but it's going at about $400 US new. So for double the price and get this guy used, CPU used is pretty much new. So I don't think it's worth the twice the price, and I think someone will really enjoy the 1500X. Okay, next up is how to cool this CPU. So I currently have an Arctic Arctic Liquid Freezer 2, 360 mil in my system, black on black, no RGB. We ended up finding this guy for $45 on an auction, brand new, never used. I thought that's pretty cool. This is a 240 millimeter RGB version, so we get a little bit of a bling in the system. But yeah, I'll use this. I think it'll do amazing. 240 mil versus the 360 for the 5800X. It should be fine. Next is RAM. I'm going to take the RAM out of my system. I'm currently using it right now. I have 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 megahertz RAM. No RGB, just some black G.Skill RAM. It's great. Like I say, because of this kind of black on black, the case, which we'll get into, is black as well. It'll look nice. It'll kind of blend right in. You won't notice there, which is great. I'm still on the fence whether I want to do 16 gigs or 32 gigs. I'll probably just do 16 gigs of RAM. So that RAM used is worth about $75. Brand new is 100. Not a big deal. If for whatever reason someone came in and they said, hey, do you have 32 gig? I could always upgrade it. But I do have another build, an Intel 12th gen build that I want to put together after this one, that I'll use that DDR4 instead. So that's my plan there. Next up is a hard drive. Now this wasn't my first choice. This is a Western Digital Blue SN5 51 terabyte drive. Now, why do I say this is not my first choice? Because it's PCI Express 3. And as I mentioned in the X570, you get full advantage of PCI Express 4, which makes a significant improvement difference. So, but I got this for really cheap. I got it for 50 bucks, and it was brand new, never used. So I'll toss it in this system. Like I say, I'm doing a little bit of a Frankenstein, trying to build a system with parts that I have around. I did compare it to, let's say, the Western Digital Black, the full, PCI Express 4 version, and it's double, if not triple the price. So, you know what, whoever gets this system, if they want to go full PCI Express 4.0 and upgrade, they can do that. There's another spot on the motherboard for this. They can keep it for additional storage. So, yeah, I think that's good. All right, GPU, my favorite topic. Okay, now we have two to choose from. This is, yeah, all right. So, let's sit down. Yeah, there you go. Both 3080s. If you have watched any of my videos, you know that I love 3080s. I have tested them all. Everything after the 3090 Ti, I have a video on that if you want to check it out. And best bang for your buck is by far a 3080. It's perfect. Like I said, it's still in this mid tier where you can play any game you want, even 4K with a 1500X, you'll do great. So these are my favorite two 3080s. This is why I've kept two of them. I actually have the Strix 3080 in my system that I've been using now for just over a year as my main card. Love it, works, it's super solid. And then I ended up picking up this EVGA 3080 just because EVGA had their Q system, it popped. I said, okay, cool, why not? I had been mining on it for 6 to 8 months. It is a monster, it mines way better than the Strix. So which one do I want to keep? What I want to try and do is get the 3080 Strix. I'll sell this one, depends, assuming I can fit it in the Corsair case will determine. If you didn't know, the Strix is about 1 inch longer than the For the Win 3. So yeah, try and put that system in. I think either way, the buyer will be very happy with either 3080. They are both the top of the line, but I will hold on to the For the Win 3. I like it more. I like the RGB more with it, and it mines better. Not that matters too much. Come September 19th, Ethereum mining will be dead. But the plan is to get the Strix in, so we'll find out after the build if I was successful on that one. Okay, now speaking of cases, here we have a Corsair 4000D. Linus just did a video about this case, saying it's one of the best all-around mid-tier cases. I ended up picking up for cheap. It was 50 bucks. I got it for retails for about 105. See, I'm trying to get all these deals to save some money so that when I sell it, I can make a better profit and then buy more gear and upgrade my stuff. I mean, it's kind of a cycle. I've been collecting this stuff, but it is time to sell it. So yeah, I haven't used one of these before. I'm not sure if I've even done a Corsair case in a while. So yeah, looking forward to working with it. I'll give you an update how well it works. It is a black case. So yeah, we'll see that out. Okay, last but not least is a power supply. This is a used EVGA 750G3 that I've had for years. I think I picked this up when I was mining back in the day. And it's been sitting around. I recently upgraded to an ASUS ROG 1000 watt power supply because I actually got it with a Newegg combo for this 3080 Strix and decided to keep it. So I've been using it. It's working awesome. This power supply here, I've had in the system that was mining with the For the Win 3. And so I've now taken it out so I can put it into this system. It's solid. I mean, it's probably worth 75 bucks used. You can buy them for 100, 110 brand new. Very, very happy with that line of power supplies. So that is it for the parts. Last but not least, because I am selling this system, I want to put an operating system on it. I want to have it up, booted up, maybe throw some games on there so someone can really see the power of the 3080, how well it's working. And so I looked at different options of Windows 10 versus Windows 11. It doesn't look like you can get Windows 11 Home with a downloadable copy yet, but there is a free upgrade from 10 to 11. So I can get the downloadable copy out of 10. Then the choice was to go OEM or retail. And OEM means it's a single install with zero support from Microsoft. I'm going to pay the extra 10 bucks to get the retail version so that someone can reinstall. If someone does switch and they want to put a new hard drive in, I want them to be able to move over their operating system without having to buy a new one. So to me, it's worth the additional 10 bucks. I think it's 129 USD. I will post now in the end somewhere in here a chart of all of the costs, Canadian, US, and the price difference versus retail to see how much I've saved by buying new or finding deals online. So that's the build. I'm gonna put it all together. Stay tuned, cue the build montage. We will talk after it's complete. Oh, I just smoked my knee. Oh, good times. Okay. Hey, what's up? Okay. Thanks. I mean, the build, I'm back. The build went really well. As you can see here, I was able to fit the ASUS Strix in the case, no problem. Lots of room in this Corsair 4000D. I did notice that room when I get the Arctic Freezer 2 in here, it's tough to get the RAM in. I had to kind of like place it in. It was a bit sketchy, but I mean, considering there's still lots of room down here, I find this is a bit of wasted space. Anyway, so far so good. One thing I didn't take into consideration when we were talking about all the parts were fans. So now, this case came with two fans. One here you can see, no, you can't see the back. It's a Corsair 120mm, just a black fan, standard black fan. And it came with another one up front. Weird that it only came with two fans for the whole case. So I decided to just remove the front fan, put three Lanley ST 120 fans in there, and that'll do the trick. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to head downstairs where I can put my spreadsheet and I can really show you all of the numbers to better understand how much I paid and what I hope to make out of this deal. So before that, quick intermission to show Abby. She's just cute as a button, hanging out on the floor. Yeah, go Abby. All right, let's head downstairs. All right, what's up? We're at my computer here, and I just wanted to show you some of the numbers. I created myself a pretty basic spreadsheet here, looking at the prices that I paid, listing all the different items. what they cost retail. So if I were to buy them brand new, and how much I saved by finding them used, finding a good deal, whether it's from on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and I found something used, or it could have been one of my own parts that I had out of my system that I previously bought. So yeah, these are all the different parts. Something that I didn't think about was I needed to put 3 fans in the front, 3 120s. So I did have 3 Lian fans that I paid $20 for that are worth $70. So that's a pretty good deal, $50 savings there. So installation time, I have just about 3 hours with the build altogether, 2 hours for the parts, an hour with cabling, and then an hour just to install the operating system, make sure everything's good to go. At $50 an hour, we'll say $200 of my time, which didn't come out of pocket. So we'll talk about that later. So total cost really was $1,634, even $1,434 really. And now I need to find out how much I can sell this for. So, I mean, I recommend doing this maybe before you do your build, but in my case, this is a build with extra parts that I've had around. So I'm just trying to figure out what I can get. So I'll hop over here to Facebook Marketplace, and I mean, I'm gonna type in, I kind of did it already, a 5800X and a 3080, which are probably the 2 more expensive parts in the system. I put the word custom because, I mean, most systems, oh, here, this is where I live. Let's switch this to, here, let's go to Tampa in the States, Tampa, Florida, so we can get some US pricing. Okay, cool. So what do we see here? First one on the list is a 3080 Ti, so a little better video card. Same CPU. Oh, it looks like they're listing all their parts along with the camera. $3,800 build. So that's pretty, so it's a Lian 011 case. What else here? It has a Galahad 360 mil AIO, some nice RGB RAM with some white fans, fans in the back, your fans in the bottom. So there's definitely a little more fancy. Now, 3800 still seems pretty steep. Even a 3080 Ti is only a couple $100 more expensive than a 3080 these days. So I'll say 3,800 is pretty high. What's this guy saying? Why is it sideways? Why is it $500? This is just ridiculous. 3080, 32 gigs RAM. Okay, $1,900 their best offer. Okay, that seems a bit better. He had it at $2,100 before. Now he wants $1,900. This is similar to what I have. I have 1 terabyte here. There's, okay, cool, a 2 terabyte the next drive. A little more juice in the power supply. He may be including the monitor, I can't tell. Definitely an older motherboard and a little bit more RAM. So 1900 is, okay, that's all right. Maybe we'll see if that goes. What's this $2,000 one? 5800X, cool, a better motherboard. It's the F, which is the smaller form factor. Cool, 16 gigs of RAM, pretty much the same thing, a little bit faster, but whatever. A 157750, a 3080 Ti again. 2 hard drives, I only have 1, plus 2 actual rotating hard drives. 360 mil Galahad like the other one. 9 other fans, wow, look at this. Lots of fans with a Lian 011 case, which I'll admit the case itself is worth more than mine as well. So, yikes, that's going for $2,000. So I'm saying mine is probably less than this. This is pretty much mine with a little bit more. So still looking at 1900. Okay, let's look at the 1650 one though. So I mean, we're at 5800X. Okay, cool. It has a similar cooler, but it's the one, so it's only one single fan with a single 120 mil rad. Same motherboard. Okay, cool. Very similar RAM. 500 gig RAM and a 2 terabytes, a little more. The video card is definitely not up to snuff with a 3060 Ti. Same case though, very cool. And I have a 750 peripherals. The monitor, I don't know if the monitor is included in that.
Okay, and that's, he was asking 21, but now it's 1650. So, yeah, I mean, mine I would say is very similar to this. So, you know, according to the market, we're between 1650 and 1900. What's this guy here? This is ridiculous. I don't know what he's selling here. I can't tell. 12900, which is better than mine. 3080 Ti, better than mine. Better Strix motherboard, more RAM, more hard drive space, bigger power. Okay, this is everything bigger and better. Still don't think it's worth that much. Okay, let's see what, oh, what's this guy here? VR ready one. Okay, small form factor, interesting. It's got an MSI card in it. Yeah, 3070 Ti, okay, similar. Same CPU, a little bit more RAM, same hard drive, same power supply. Reasonably okay motherboard. 250, so this is very similar. Very similar. It does say it has Windows 11 Pro. I wonder if these people actually paid for the license or not. Looking back over here, the Windows license itself is 129. So yeah, I wonder if people are putting in just junk copies of Windows. I went out and purchased this specifically for this build, and I'll make that very aware when I go to sell it. So yeah, $1,700. So it's pretty similar to what I have. So let's start to plunk in some numbers here. If I say $1,800, I'm up $166. Maybe minus the $200, maybe $366. I mean, in the end, would I be happy with that? I mean, I would like more. I find it very crazy that, I mean, I'm already saving $600 from retail price, and I can still only make a profit of $166. Whew. So, I mean, that's interesting. Look at those numbers. So I will probably, just because I have to play the Facebook Marketplace game, maybe post it at 2,100 like everyone else, and see if I take somewhere closer to 1,800, 1,700 when someone talks me down. So I highly recommend putting in a parts list like this together. You'll realize very quickly that stuff does add up, and I want to make sure that you're taking the right steps so that you're not going in the hole when you're trying to make a few dollars. So yeah, that's it. Let's go back over to the studio.
Okay, all right, we are back. I hope that helped you break down and really see some of the numbers. And that's what I wanted this video to be about. Less about the build, more about which components I picked, why, the cost, what computers are going for on Facebook Marketplace, and they may be completely different in your region. I picked Tampa. Like I say, I'll check here locally in the GTA and see what I can sell this for. So, I mean, my mission is hopefully to make $400 or $500 US on this build so that I can take those components. I've already picked up a couple sticks of RAM, and I have a case over there. So I can do this kind of over and over. I love it because I can then put content of builds on this channel, which hopefully you love watching. I would like to talk more about the numbers and just kind of the money behind building custom computers. And still, maybe building custom loops for people. I know that's a common thing. And is there any money in that? Will someone pay a premium to have a custom computer built? Even designed. I've seen some really cool stuff with different, they take a case and they'll put some different designs on it. I find that stuff very interesting. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I will leave a comment, and I'll pin it once I sell this computer, and I'll let you know what I actually sell it for, just to give you an idea on how well I made out. But yeah, if you like this comment, please subscribe. I appreciate it. Like this video, and I'll see you on the network. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.